This video will be a quick review of the Telling Time in History Notes key. Most of this key, the answers are pretty self-explanatory and don't really need to be discussed beyond making sure that you read and understand them. However, I do want to focus on the timeline activity because reading a timeline can sometimes be confusing. So I am actually going to go to the timeline and show you how I came up with these answers. If you look at this timeline, you're going to see a left arrow and a right arrow. It's actually labeled for you in this case. The left arrow sends you back in time. The right arrow sends you forward in time. All timelines are going to work that way. One thing you should notice, though, is that BCE, the numbers get bigger the further back in time you go. So it's kind of like negative numbers on a number line. CE, the numbers get bigger the closer forward in time you get, so the closer to today. Kind of like positive numbers on a number line. So I know the question asked, how far between each other are 200 BCE and 200 CE? The way to figure that out is to think about 0 being in the middle and then count how far apart they are from 0, just like on a number line. So 200 BCE is 200 years away from 0 in one direction. 200 CE is 200 years away from 0 in the other direction. So if I add my 200 years here and my 200 years here, I get that they are 400 years apart. The next question asks us to look at the dots, and notice as we get forward in time, the dots get much closer together. We can see here in the 17 to 1800s, they are right on top of each other. We did discuss this in class, but in case you missed it, this is not because there are more events in this time period. Things were happening all the time in history. What this does mean, though, is that we have more records of those events. Upon the invention of writing, it was much easier to keep track of events, and therefore we have more things that we can actually plot on a timeline. Before writing occurred, we have to dig in the ground and use tools, pottery, clothing, and bones in order to figure out what life might have been like. And it's a lot more difficult to trace events back that far because we don't have any written record of it.